Welcome back to Area DMG. I am your host, Will Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and for today's episode of Suki Nihon, we are looking at Pokemon Generations, Episode 4 of Season 1, The Lake of Rage. This episode covers what happened during the Red Gyarados Lake of Rage part of Pokemon Gold and Silver. If you played through Pokemon Gold and Silver, or Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you know that whole thing with Lance, his Dragonite, etc., and the Red Gyarados that shows up. It's like how they show you shinies in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or Gold and Silver. Essentially, when they were like, "Hey, guess what, guys? A certain percentage of these could be quote shiny sprites," end quote, and that ruined Pokemon forever. Ugh. No, I'm kidding. It didn't ruin it. It just made it like weird. Nowadays, if you have a shiny and you use it in any capacity, people will suddenly think you're cheating. It essentially made a way for people to complain about other people, and I don't know, to be perfectly honest, I do like how some of these Pokemon look shiny-wise. I just wish there were more colors to it. I mean, if you're going to have a system where Pokemon will be different colors or have different gender differences, why can't I find, like, why can't I influence that itself? Why can't I just, like, change the color of my Pokemon in some way? Like, here, give them this type of, I don't know, they could call it a shampoo or something. And then instead of, like, having to deal with, like, the shiny variant, you could have your own that's different. Kind of like the costume Pikachu that they do in, I think, Heart Gold, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire? Or is it Pokemon X and Y that did that? I forget. There's so many things that they've done with that, but what they really need to do is give us a way to change the color. If I want a Pikachu who's blue and I just name him Pika-Blue, that'd be awesome. I just want to be able to do that, okay? But yeah, let's get back to this. This episode was awesome. It starts out with Lance and his Dragonite, who for some bizarre reason is a lot cooler looking than normal, especially when it's using its like flamethrower attack type thing, its meteor punch type deal, all its cool stuff that it's doing. I'm like, this Dragonite looks and acts awesome. I've always thought that Dragonite looked stupid. I really liked Dragonair, I really liked Dratini, but I've always thought that Dragonite looked dumb. Like, seriously dumb. And in this one, they make Dragonite look good. Kind of badass. And I'm like, wait a second. You made Dragonite look cool. You made Lance, who's pretty much like a bargain store Vegeta, look good. And his English voice sounds so familiar. I'm not sure who his English voice is, but it sounds so very familiar, and I can't figure it out. I will eventually. Eventually, we will find out who's voicing who on that and stuff. I don't know, I'll have to go check like the old series and see if it's the same person, but I have a kind of feeling that it's not. But yeah, overall I liked this show. This one was fantastic. I liked what they did with it. It was pretty good. He busts in there. There's this little sequence where he breaks into Team Rocket's headquarters and takes them out, and you also get a little bit about the main character from Heart Gold and Soul Silver wandering around there. One of the Team Rocket characters says, "So the other one was a diversion." And Lance is all like, yeah. And then there's a fight there. That whole fight ensues. He frees those electrodes or electro orbs, and whatever you call them, from that from Team Rocket's machine. At the end of this, the Red Gyarados goes back into the water, and you have this really cool part where like Lance is looking at that, and it's awesome. The whole thing's just pretty awesome. There's some really great background music. This is one of those in Pokemon Generations where Pokemon don't say their name all the time. Instead, they make actual animal noises, and it works out fantastically. This is what I came to see when I came into Pokemon Generations. I was like, hey, let's hope that this is good. Let's take this and make it good. And they did. They really did. They went back and, I like this. This is also really well animated, especially compared to some of the later Pokemon series or some of the earlier stuff. You go back and you watch like the original Pokemon series, there are issues with the animation. And it just, those issues are not present in this short. It just felt like, okay, I could watch an entire series that just focused around Lance and his dragons and such. That's cool. I can't wait to see the ones that were coming up that focus on like En and Gestas and all that other stuff. I'm just like, yes, this is exactly why I'm excited about this series, and I'm glad that they brought it. They're just keeping bringing it here. The animation is top notch, the voice acting is top notch, and the music is top notch. And this was just a top notch effort. I barely like it a little bit better than like the second episode, which was the chase, mainly because I'm a big fan of Giovanni, and I like the idea of an unknown character or whatnot in there. And it's just like I liked that. This I liked too. It's pretty good. And yeah, that's why I thought of it. What do you think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Go ahead and share if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until the next episode comes out, you are now caught up.